take a little bit of time here, just getting yourself set up. So we'll practice for half an hour, as we generally do. And as you come into your posture, as you get everything in alignment and figure out what will be comfortable, I'll invite you to make a few movements. Hello, welcome. We're just setting up, just began. So just making a few movements as you come into your posture. You might like to roll the shoulders back and then forward. Tilting the head to one side and then the other. You might like to do a little twist, turning the torso to one side or keeping the legs where they are. And bonus points for yawning. Just releasing, relaxing, and make any other movements that feel good for you. You might like to stretch, reach around, shake. Take a deep breath. And so, setting an intention for this practice, I really enjoyed lately setting an intention to practice for the benefit of others. And this is just a way to make the practice not about us, but also to cultivate some warmth or goodwill just right from the outset. So here you can have the eyes open or eyes closed, but I'll just invite you to bring to mind someone who you are practicing for. A person in your life, a being that will have benefits ripple out to them. Any benefits you receive will affect them. And this could be a person that you want to show up for with kindness and patience and curiosity, openness, equanimity, compassion. And so the very concrete way of doing this is picking a person, practicing for them, and the more abstract way is to practice for the benefit of all beings. And just check your posture once more. Make sure that you are both relaxed and alert. And once you've found your meditation posture, resolve to be as still and quiet as you reasonably can, allowing that stillness to be reflected in the mind. Now I'm going to begin here with a practice of a breathwork practice, something I found to be really helpful for just settling, and a very gentle, easy way to practice breathwork. And this is sometimes known as resonance breathing. Basically, inhaling to a count of 4 and exhaling to a count of 6. And then just repeating that. It doesn't have to be exactly 4 and 6. And also, if you find that that's too long, too short, feel free to change it to what feels comfortable. The idea is to find something that really feels soothing, comfortable for you. So I'll count the first few, and then I'll invite you to continue counting in your own mind with the breath. So exhaling, and then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. Continue counting on your own. Continue breathing in a way that's comfortable. We'll stay with this for a few minutes. Good. Now complete the last round or two here. And then allow the breath to fall into a natural rhythm. Notice how you feel now. Tuning into this present moment experience. Notice the sounds that you can hear. Notice what you're seeing in the visual field with eyes open or closed. Notice the sensations of the body. Notice the feeling of being supported. And for this practice, we will be cultivating balanced energy, calm and clarity. And so we can do this through skillfully applying effort, and then at times skillfully dropping effort. So I'll invite you to find a meditation object. Now I'm going to recommend using either the breath, or if you're familiar with it, the breath throughout the whole body. So it could be the breath at one location, like the abdomen or at the nose, or the breath throughout the whole body. And to begin with, I invite you to bring a good amount of effort. So bring a strong intention to notice all the details of the breath. Look at where you feel the breath, whether that's a small or large area. Notice the quality of the sensations. There might be warmth or coolness, there might be pressure or texture, vibration. And then start to notice the very beginning of the inhale, the end of the inhale, the very beginning of the exhale, and the end of the exhale. This is called intensifying in the tradition, but basically it's curiosity, interest, just caring about all the details of the breath at one location or throughout the whole body. See if you can become fascinated by the small changes, the slight differences from breath to breath, even within one breath. Anytime you notice that attention has moved to something other than the breath, and try to appreciate that moment and gently bring your attention back. As we stay with the breath, we're also developing metacognitive awareness, recognizing when the mind has moved. Now, for the next step, I'll invite you to ease up. So rather than directing your attention so closely to all the details, I'll invite you to ease up and really go for it so you can get a sense of what it feels like to be really eased up. Just sit back and receive. Let the breath come to you. And this might even be accompanied by a sense of stepping back, opening up, getting more of a panoramic view, or at least a wider sense of view rather than a narrow focus. So easing up, relaxed, receiving, and just letting the breath come to you. And notice what feels different. Allow the body to relax. And whenever you notice attention has wandered, again, just appreciating and gently coming back, even if that's just coming back to this receptive, open state. And then letting the breath appear. Good. And now we're going to run another experiment of effort and then ease. And so now I want you to come back to the details of the breath. Bring that curiosity and intensifying, a bit more fire in that intention. And particularly, I want you to look for the edges of the sensation. So if you're observing the breath at the nose, just noticing the very edge of where you can feel that. Same with the breath at the belly. If you're doing the breath throughout the whole body, you might feel that the edges of the body are actually the edges of sensation. Look really closely at those edges. See if you can find a distinct line, a distinct edge, a distinct boundary. At a certain point, the edge will appear fuzzy. There'll be some kind of vibration, or the sensations will shift and change, be somewhat amorphous. At some point, you'll tap into the subtle level of sensation. Maybe the breath even stops feeling like a solid object, but more like waves of vibration. Might even feel like energy, movement. And as you stay with that, the focus becomes more and more continuous. Clarity increases, and you can stay with the breath more completely. Wherever you are, stay with the practice. And then our last movement here is to begin easing up. Now this time, ease up gradually, bit by bit. Just relaxing the body, softening, opening up, just gradually stepping back a little bit. And you might notice that all that detail and subtle sensation stays there even without putting in so much effort to look for it. You can just receive all of that sensation. And as you ease up, you might find that the practice becomes more focused. The mind stays with the breath. If you find distraction comes in, you may have eased up a little too much. Feel free to just find that balance. Just enough effort. And at a certain point, the practice will feel easy and gentle. Just staying with all the detail of the breath. Relaxed and alert. Effort and ease.